My name is James Harris. When talking about, the dynamics of, my family or my upbringing, to really understand, the person who you see before you, got to understand the two halves that make me. From my father's side of the family, my dad was heavily into the streets. My dad was a hustler. So growing up, I was exposed to a lot. He was considered one of the biggest drug kingpins in Kansas City, Kansas. So, this is where I really, got my hustle, my drive, and my ambition. Now, on the flip side of that, it was my mom's side of the family, and this is really where I got my morals, my ethics, and my foundation for, just being a good person. My mom used to always tell me, don't be like your dad. I saw my mom work 3 jobs to, take care of my little brother and me, and sometimes she would come home and only have about like 30 minutes in between the next job, and she couldn't even change her clothes. She would fall asleep on the couch, wake up, go right back to work. She used to come home and rub my hands on top of hers and let me feel the calluses on her hands and say, these are the hands of a working woman. Despite the fact that, all the good advice my mama had, little boys, they always want to aspire and grow up and, be like their father. So I kind of felt myself, in between the two. A little bit of hustling and a whole lot of education. All right, can y'all give it up for Terrence for me, please? Youth entrepreneurs impacted me in a great way. Honestly, it was twofold. It was the skills that I got to learn and apply in marketing entrepreneurship class, like learning what the characteristics of a leader are, taking risks, being relentless, and then actually being able to apply some of those skills via market day and things like that. But probably one of the biggest things that impacted me through Youth Entrepreneurs of Kansas was the handoff. They were the ones who actually recommended me for Usher's New Look Foundation.
I've known James for about 7 years now, and ever since I met him, I've noticed the drive and the hustle and the ambition he's had. When we first got connected, it was through Usher's New Look back when it was a camp. He came in from Kansas City, one of the only 2 people from out there, and it was crazy because even though I came in the program before him, I looked up to him and watched how he came in. He took hold of the opportunities. Watching him grow throughout the years has been great. He's become the Atlanta program coordinator, and then now he's passed that position on to me as he's moved up into a new position.
Despite the fact that marketing entrepreneurship was my favorite class, I used to always approach the work kind of like with the same mindset I used to approach everything with. Just do the work to get it done so I could do what I really wanted to do, after school. I remember we had a whole year to complete a business plan about anything that we wanted to do. But instead of me actually aligning my business plan with my passion of music, I actually just was like, what could I do real quick to get it done? And actually 2 weeks before it was due, that's when I got caught with the ounce of marijuana in school. Now, the only reason why I didn't get expelled from school, when I came back from jail, when they pulled me into the principal's office, my rap sheet was this thin. I had straight A's in school. So this was a clear indication that this wasn't a bad child. Just, he had a lot of energy, didn't necessarily know where to channel to focus that. Now, the opportunity had presented itself for them to recommend 2 students from the YEK program to actually be a part of Usher's New Look Foundation. And how my teachers had positioned it, they were on the computer and they were showing me, pictures of Usher and kids in the studio. So I'm like, cool, I'm about to go out here and get a record deal. But they was like, no, it's not that easy. I had to compete with every kid that was in YEK in my school district, about like 500 students. We had to do resume speeches and things like that. And I had to, showcase my product. But I also had to, practice business professionalism with my appearance. But at the time, I didn't even have any dress clothes. And I remember I had to borrow a suit from my uncle. Now, the jacket was too low and the pants was a little baggy, but that's not what really got me, joned on in school. All the kids was getting on me because my uncle gave me like the pointiest dress shoes, Like, they was like, boy, he got the roach killers on, boy, he can get in the crack of the walls and kill all the roaches with them. But I had to just block out all the hate and the discouragement because I knew I had the tangible means to actually, solidify my dreams. And long story short, they did select 2 students, and I was one of them. We need to start getting y'all more on these trips. Like, when these private service stores come up, like, I need to be putting in these applications to train so y'all can travel with us, you know what I'm saying? Initially, I thought it was all about a record deal, but when I went there, I actually realized how much work it took, into actually being a part of New Look. everything finally clicked for me. You know, the same things that I was learning back home, it finally made sense because now it was to my passion. So that same student who didn't complete one business plan in a full year, when I went to Usher's Camp New Look, I actually completed a total of 4 within the 2 weeks, and I was awarded, you know, the Star Camper Award. But I really attribute this to YEK and the skills that I learned there.
James Harris is just somebody who I've always been able to talk to when I need help, letters of recommendation. Ever since I've been a part of New Look, he's had a wonderful influence on my life, making me want to do better, try harder, to continue to strive, continue to go. And the fact that he has so much swag and representing positivity is just amazing. I look up to him in the aspect of music and art, entertainment, all of those aspects, and then just being able to grow as a person and knowing that where you came from does not affect where you're going, who you can be, and what you can do with your life.
Y'all just give it up for Sean. Since, you know, all my success with both the YEK program and actually with Usher's New Look Foundation, I've actually been provided a platform. I actually testified before Congress with Usher, you know, and we actually got the Edward Kennedy Serve America bill passed. I speak at various high schools. That's really, you know, a big part of my job right now is, you know, advocating, you know, that message and letting people know that, you know, their circumstances or their current situation doesn't define them.
He's exposing us in really great ways. A few of us have gotten to go on job shadows, and we've gotten internships from those job shadows, and it's been really great having him.
So I always had a passion for music, but you know, as I grew and I was actually exposed to more of the entrepreneurial skills, you know, from the marketing and the entrepreneurship classes, I wanted to build my movement. I wanted to actually build more infrastructure, and that's where I'm really at now. You know, it's been me digressing from so much of, you know, just creating music, but it's actually coming up with that marketing plan and that business plan, that strategy to actually, okay, how can I turn my fans into $1? You know, I just started up a new label, Loud Pack Productions. The motto is everything we do, you're gonna hear about it. And currently I have 16 people on staff working for me. As I've been growing and maturing into, you know, a better entrepreneur, I learned now that it's about infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? Like bringing people in to, you know, share one vision so we can have concentrated results, you know, and a deeper impact.
Hi, my name is James Harris from Kansas City, Kansas, JC Harmon graduate, YEK alumni. For anybody out there that's participating in YEK right now, I tell you to grasp, get a hold of this opportunity that you're having in your hands right now, because YEK is really putting you further ahead, more further ahead than you think. Me being in economics 1 in college, I'm remembering things that they're talking about now from 2 years ago when I was in YEK.
Every day I'm continuing to, you know, keep that entrepreneurial spirit going and, you know, just steady pursuing my dreams. And every day I wake up ready to take on the world. Loud Pack.